Welcome back to the Goddess Activation podcast. Today is our first ever Brynick episode, Brian and Nikita Brynick. I've heard from so many of my girlfriends who said they are looking for their Brian, or like, oh, I finally found my Brian. I was literally on a birthday party last month and I met her in 2021 here in Mallorca before we lived here. She's a photographer, Adele. And we did a photo shoot for myself and for the retreats. And then also we did some couple pictures afterwards. And on her birthday last month, she shared it's now her first birthday and first anniversary with her boyfriend. And she finally found her Brian. And she's like, no, I literally told myself I'm looking for my Brian. And this is not the first person I hear saying that. You don't know that.
So yeah. I know that, and it's nice to hear.
Yes, he's a Leo. I'm an Aries. He's a Leo Sun, Leo Venus, Leo Rising. If you know astrology, he's a Leo, and we love it. Okay, so
this is actually our first podcast together in front of the camera, right?
Yes, I did a Intimate Love, a group online program back in 2022.
Oh, yes.
And that was in that, like one of the last calls, Brian joined the call and answered all the questions from the male perspective. But other than that, it's the first time ever on camera.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. Nice.
Yes, let's go. I wrote down many questions. He doesn't know any of them, and we'll just dive in.
So I will be very honest. I've never seen the questions before. I have no idea what you're gonna ask me.
And he's just gonna be direct, because sometimes I'm like, oh, well, you know, the story has 2 sides or 5 sides, and he's like, no, just break up, or like, it's just very direct. And so this is what you're getting today.
Let's see.
I have a theory that men know quite fast if the woman they're dating is the one or not, and when they know, they will change themselves, they will step up, they will be better, but some will also just entertain women even if they know they're not the one, but then they will also not be the best man they can be with that woman because they know she's not the one. That's my theory. What do you think about that?
100%. 100%. I mean, you actually described my whole life since I met you.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can also share the story when I was laying down on your
towel.
On the towel, exactly. So it was for me actually from the first minute. I knew that you're gonna be my wife, and that I want to spend. You know, you don't have from the beginning this intention to spend the rest of the life together, but you can. So I had this feeling of home since the beginning when we met, and I changed my life 180 degrees. So it's 100%.
Yeah. What are maybe some signs for women? Actually, it's very easy. If you're wondering why he's not treating you well, or the partner, independent of gender, is not treating you well, I would just say walk away. I would not entertain a dynamic where you're always waiting for the text back and you're not sure what the intentions of the other person are. So if you feel like someone is playing games, no, it doesn't matter what the gender is. If you feel like someone is playing games with you, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I wouldn't spend even 1 minute more with a person like that. So I would have an honest conversation. This is always important because I really believe that this is also what I learned from a teacher in school, that you always have to close the cycle. You know, I know that you're laughing now, but this is very important that you. In my opinion, that you don't let that many circles open, so that you always try to close them and to finish also relationships. But I would go out straight away.
Yeah. Maybe as a backstory, so when we met, I really have to say, I could not have loved myself more than I already was loving myself back at that time. So we met in 2020, 21st July 2020, and I had already spent 5-6 years on inner work, personal development, healing, and so on. And I just started this business, and I was just so happy, fulfilled, deeply loving myself. Now I love myself even more than I did back then. But at this point, I could not have loved myself even more. And I think that was and I was celibate for 1.5 years before that, because I really said I want to focus just on myself. I want to heal the shame and all those weird dynamics that maybe I was repeating. So I just said, cut, clear it all. I also did the Kundalini breath work every single day for 1.5 years. I also didn't drink alcohol for 1.5 years. So it was a very intense healing and transformation period for me. And then in 2020, I felt like when I meet someone, I'm open. But Brian was the first person that I then said, yes, let's exchange numbers. And so I want to say that there's definitely healing that happens in a relationship, or transformation. Also transformation that can only happen in a relationship, because there are situations that cannot happen if you're single, right?
Yeah.
If you're together, you're living together, then conversations come up. But I like saying, let's do everything you can to love yourself and trust yourself first, and then you can bring that into a relationship. Of course, you can not know yourself yet, be in a relationship, and that person helps you love yourself even more, which we also helped each other in that. And I'm not,
Yeah, and I also think you have been, at this point when we met, you have been so much further than I was at this point. So when we met, Nikita really showed me, or really not showed, just inspired me on so many things, and I have learned and transformed myself in so many different ways since we have this relationship. And I was at a completely different point, and I had to learn more about myself and who I am, so much more than you had to learn at this point, right? So what I want to say, you can be on a different level regarding this topic. But I think what you wanted to say is that you really need to have this kind of healthy base, right?
yes, and I think especially for women, if you know yourself and you're repeating a cycle, it's something I just see very, very clearly in all my clients who have unhealthy, struggling dynamics with men, is that there's always also a root of unhealthy, struggling dynamics with their father. And yes, it sounds very cliche, but it is a cliche, and it is something that keeps being shown again and again in my clients, because the father role is such an important one. It's the father shows, especially to daughters, how men should treat them or what they can allow. And as a child, it's not your fault. You can't control that, right? But if you didn't receive the love or attention the way you wanted it, and you had to fight for it, or your father was always super tired when he got home because he was working super hard to, take care of the home and so on. But if you never received the love and attention you needed, and you felt like, what am I doing wrong? Or why is he telling me to be quiet? And so on. It is going to get repeated in your dating life
100%.
unless you proactively work on it. And so why I was sharing about the thing before is because I mostly work with women. I see the patterns, and I feel like it's easier for women to say, let me face the discomfort with myself, with my father wound, with my dating life. Let's just confront the discomfort, work with it, transform it, heal it. And yes, you can still date during this as well. But I find it easier to just do the work and then open up to dating than feel like, oh, you have to, like, there are so many patterns you want to change and it feels heavy. And then you're also dating. And I mean, there's always a different person. That person has their own life, their own patterns and trauma. So I feel like if you're trying to heal or transform two people at the same time, that's much harder than just to focus on yourself, do your thing, and then at that elevated standard of, in the sense of you're loving yourself, meet your match instead of you're struggling with your healing, the other person is struggling with their healing, both don't know what they're doing, and then that just creates so many of those fights that I hear from my clients.
Yeah. I think you cannot expect that from a relationship to just build up this base where it can add on, right? So completely agree.
We actually already covered so much. So when we met, basically we were at a park at the lake in Zurich, and it was Monday during COVID. So what else would we do on a Monday afternoon? We were both tanning at the park. And he was there with a friend and his sister playing soccer, and I was pulling my cards, meditating with my incense stick, which doesn't make sense to use an incense stick when you're outside, but I was doing it for the vibes. And then I was reading my book, and at some point he threw the soccer ball on my leg and then ran to me, touched my whole arm, looked me deep in the eyes and just said sorry, and then ran away.
So, just in case if we would meet, I would never do this normally. So
touch strangers.
Exactly. You don't have to be scared when you
meet
see me
him
in the park.
And then I did the second move. I asked him if he would watch my stuff while I go into the lake. When I came back, he asked, what are those cards and if you can see them. And then when we walked to my towel, he just laid on my towel. Like, in general, you would walk to that person, then you would stand there, this other person takes out the cards. He just laid on my towel. And like it was the most natural thing. And then we talked for an hour. Yeah. And then and I was telling him, hey, I'm going to book my one-way ticket to Costa Rica because I just started my business. I want to live somewhere warm. And he had just been to Costa Rica. And then he basically said, let's go for a walk I can share some tips about Costa Rica. And then on our first date, we saw a shooting star, which was so magical.
That was nice.
It was the first shooting star I ever saw in Switzerland, which was a sign for me.
Yeah. And then we also saw this, I know how to
those
say
lanterns that they put into the sky in like Thailand.
Awesome. I've never seen this on the lake.
No, me neither.
Zurich.
Yeah, me neither. It was magical. One of the advice you often hear when you're single and you're trying to find your soulmate is like make a list of the person the perfect partner, and then become those qualities, or write a list that you're clear. And in the beginning phase, I remember both of us said we find that writing a no-go list is much more important than writing a list of what you want. I think that can be very beneficial, especially if you're unclear about what you want. But for example, I had a no-go, like I did not want to date someone or like even go on a date with someone who was not conscious with themselves, who was not aware. I told a friend that I did not want to go on a date with someone who didn't meditate before, because at that time I was working a lot with people who had never meditated before. And in the end, you had never meditated before, but you were journaling and he was very self-aware. And so what I'm saying with this is we find no-go lists are very powerful because you just take out what's a no-go and then you have a bigger pool to play with and to stretch with. And for example, my no-go was that with the meditation or self-awareness and smoking. But then on the first date, I remember in the beginning, I was at some point, I was like, oh no, he doesn't smoke, or I don't even remember if I thought that, but at some point he pulled out those IQOS, those e-cigarettes. And I saw it and I was like, I'll just put that in the gray zone because it's not really smoking cigarettes. I'm having a great time. Let's just put that in the gray zone and like let me watch
Costa Rica anyway.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, right? We knew I might go anyway, so there's nothing to lose. Yeah. But if you have that no-go list, and then letting some things slide in the gray zone. So with the no-go list, it helps you to really get clear what's a no-go, but then also add in some flexibility for gray zones, like I did with the smoking IQOS, and he stopped smoking by himself. I never told him, hey, I don't want you to smoke. You stopped smoking by yourself.
Yeah. You have never told me or gave me any signs that it disturbs you.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
And I think this with the no-goes and what you want to have or what not this. I think this is a big change if you just make a list instead of what you want to have, because you never know what you will maybe attract. And it would be a pity to close doors, you know,
Before you know that person.
before you know it, because sometimes you meet someone you have never expected that it's gonna, or it could be a match with the person, and I think it's easier to say what you don't like.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think so too.
I can see the questions.
But you can't read them.
No.
I can barely read them.
No.
My writing is really not the prettiest. I have
And
other
I'm
gifts.
also not the absolute best in English, so this combination is...
Works. How was moving abroad for you?
a challenge.
Yeah.
It was a challenge. It's still a challenge.
Yeah. It looks so much better and easier, but changing your complete life. And we are super open people. Like, finding aligned friendships was the easiest thing ever. Truly.
That was never a problem.
That was the easiest thing. Easier to find friends here than in Switzerland.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
because here the people are like-minded.
Yeah. And everyone has moved here, right? And so everyone is looking for friends.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say with that is it was a challenge, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a challenge because everything went actually pretty well in Switzerland. So, and to give up all the things you build up there, if it's a job, I've been in a
Business.
job where I earned good money, where I had a very good team. I could have been my career there. Then the friends, the flat we had in the middle of Zurich, the family, and actually the life. I mean, it wasn't like an escape from some place or whatever, or from people. We just decided to do that, and to move out of the country and to start somewhere else, a new life. It was a challenge to go out into
A completely new place.
Yeah.
And what would you recommend how to move through challenges together as a couple? First, if you're dating, so you're not fully a couple yet, and then one person or both are going through a challenge, how would you recommend going through that together in the beginning phase when you're like don't fully love and know each other yet?
Can you give me an example?
Remember the things that came up for you in the beginning of our relationship.
Yes, so there is coming a point where you, even if you're not in a relationship yet, in my opinion, is that there is coming a point where you have to jump over your shadow and comfort zone. So where you have to talk about topics that are difficult to talk about, maybe also topics you have never talked about or shared with someone. For example, for me it was completely a new thing being in a relationship with a person I really appreciate, I want to spend my rest of the life with, and then not having in the sexual topics always have this pressure on myself to perform every day or every week and be the best and wow and yes and whoo and party and whatever. So at this point where everything changes, when you start going into a new
New
or
level
into
of intimacy and
Exactly.
honesty with each other.
honesty,
Yeah.
that also changes the relationship, right? And to talk about at this point, I think this is the point. So you have these different levels in relationship. First, it's very exciting, everything, and wow, everything new, and wow, and everything is perfect and whatever. And then you go into new level or into new zone to talk about some topics that are difficult to talk about, there you just have to jump over your shadow.
You just have to do it.
You just have to do it.
And cry in front of each other.
Yes,
like you
100%.
said, I was the first woman you cried with, aside from your mother and sister.
Yeah.
And like that was uncomfortable for him. I remember that because actually what happened there is we felt home with each other since the beginning. We never questioned, oh, is that person texting other people or like any of that. And so it felt very like home from the beginning. But what definitely came up for you was you liked me so much, were scared of losing me, but then also all those stigmas around what being a man looks like or is, like the bullshit that society sometimes says. Those things were coming up. And you were noticing, maybe you have to say if that's true or not, but you were noticing, okay, I'm getting to see you beyond any masks or personas. Like I'm really seeing you as a soul. And so the mask you maybe put on as a person out in the outside world or as a man, that was just crumbling because it's not about a mask, it's about soul to soul connection.
Yeah, and the sooner you can just talk about everything, the sooner you find out if this is the person or not.
Yeah.
Because what I'm 100% sure, if also as a man, so from my perspective, if that doesn't have the place in the relationship, or a woman would treat you differently afterwards, then this is not the relationship I would continue, you know, or follow.
So I think that starts with yourself. If you have compassion with yourself, no matter what emotions come up, if you have acceptance for yourself, are kind to yourself, no matter what comes up, you can have that for the other person, right? So what we did, or maybe what I did very well from the beginning, when some things were coming up for you, I knew it was not about me. I never took any of that personally. And that makes it so much easier for me to just listen and hold space for you. And then, yes, if it's something between two people, then you can also share your opinion or your side. But having that space where both of you are being heard, not hearing what you want to hear or hearing with your defenses and your triggers, but actually just listening to what the other person is saying. And then observing, okay, what are my reactions? Oh my gosh, he talked about it as X. I feel whatever, just observing it, but not getting triggered and then just putting it back on that other person. Actually just observing, okay, that triggers me, but why is it triggering me?
Exactly. Even if it triggers you, this is completely fine.
And yes, that's normal.
But that you just don't react to it that fast.
And then also share it with each other if something is triggering you, or like, hey, it hurt me when you talked about this like that, or whatever. Always talking. It's such a simple thing, but it just takes courage to be seen.
Yeah.
And so what if that person sees you as a mess, sees you broken down, sees you crying mascara everywhere? Who cares?
Yeah.
Either it's your soulmate and you're going to spend many years or a lot of time or maybe the rest of your lifetime together, or that person is not the right person for you anyway, so who cares if they saw you as a mess?
It's a freedom. It's a very, very... it's a free feeling when you know you can do this in a relationship.
Yeah.
Imagine when you would always have to think, can I or can I not?
That would be terrible, because you're always... you're never being fully yourself.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself in small little boxes.
Yeah, and then the relationship doesn't make sense.
It won't work.
Then just be alone. Yeah, 100%. Because why are you in a relationship then?
That's what I wanted to hear, that directness.
No, yes, but this is 100% my opinion. Then be alone the rest of your life and work on yourself and feel free. I think to feel free, this is one of the main thing that has to be. Yeah.
If your partner either is not, or you feel like is not fully supporting you and what you want and your dreams and the way you are, if you're loud, if you're big, if you're shy, what would you say to that person? So if they don't feel like they can fully be themselves and fully be or become who they want to become.
The question is, what is your expectation, and what are just your thoughts? Mm-hmm. So I think one of the big thing is that people have, not only in relationship, also in everywhere in life, people have so many expectations about other people or situations, or it doesn't matter. Even if you go on vacation, people always have so many expectations, and the same in working in a team, working in a job, or having a relationship with the other person. So I think first you have to separate, is it an expectation I have and I'm looking for someone who fully fulfill these expectations, or is it that the other person...
I understand, yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Or is it the other person that just if you try to be yourself and the other person doesn't allow it or doesn't acknowledge it?
What you're saying is, ask yourself, what is your expectation? Is it what you want? Is it something that's important to you? And if it's an expectation, have you shared that with each other? Because if the other person doesn't know that you want...
That you have this, 100%, yeah.
But, so you're saying differentiate between what is an expectation, what is something that's important to you, and what is like... Reality is so subjective, right? It's how am I perceiving this moment? How are you perceiving this moment? And how is that moment happening from a bird's eye view? Mm-hmm. And so is that person, is it like you want more support, but they are supporting you. They are saying you're doing great and let's go. But they're maybe not doing extra research for you. And you would want a partner who does research for you without you asking for it. Mm-hmm. Then I would still say that person is supporting you. But if when you're sharing about your dreams or about your things and you feel that person gets smaller, walks away, doesn't ask more questions or limits you, then yes, maybe that's not actually supporting you. Yeah. So differentiate between what's your expectations, your wants, and what is really happening if you don't take it personally and if you look at it objectively. What is really happening?
Yeah. And I would try to communicate as good as you can, but also working on the expectations, that the expectations from another person is not that high.
Yeah.
I try to have not that many expectations. I would rather work more on myself, that I can have it for myself. Do you know what I mean?
Also, but you're saying don't look for the validation outside of you. Actually just work on feeling proud yourself instead of hoping someone else will tell you they're proud of you.
Exactly. Yeah. Because they
that's
will
good.
do it.
That's very good.
They will do it, but the more you force it and the more you want it. I'm working in sales since I'm 15, and what I've learned in this job is that you shouldn't force the decision from clients that much. You should support him. You should advise him in the best way you can. You should be committed, yes, and you have to go always for it. But to force his decision or to have this expectation, that always crashes the deal.
Yeah.
So just let it go, work on yourself, be always in the line, and then the things are coming.
Yeah.
Do
your work, believe in it, trust it, don't force it, don't grip on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't grip on it.
Yeah.
Be always in contact with the client, be always in contact in the relationship with the partner, talk, share your thoughts, but never try to force it.
Yeah. That's very good.
Yeah, this is and at the end it's plus minus the same. If you're working with clients or in a relationship, it's always a people thing.
If you want a sales episode, we can do one together as well, because he has so much good wisdom and experiences and stories from sales, because he has sold almost anything except for insurance. He has never sold.
And cars.
Yes, but I
I've
feel
never-
like you could sell someone on a car so easily. He worked in luxury watch sales and he sold a 37,000 watch on his third day in the job. He had no idea what the functions or the names of the things inside the watches are. He just sold it.
I just had a good time with the client.
Yes, you want to have a good time in a relationship and with
Yeah.
the clients and with what you do.
Yeah.
Comes back to you being actually happy and liking what you do, actually liking the other person. I think a lot of people are actually in relationships or in a dating phase with people they don't actually really like that much. They're either trying to get the validation or want to be seen with someone cool or want to take pictures on a boat with that person. But I feel like
Could be,
and
or they're
are
sometimes
scared
also
of being
jealous and
maybe
could be.
yes, or some don't want to be alone. But what you're saying about jealousy, I'm so shocked when I hear there's jealousy in between relationships upon each other. Like, aren't you the biggest team?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
No sé.
No sé.
Vale, después. So now we're talking about heterosexual relationships. What's the role of the man in a relationship for you?
I can just tell you what my role is.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't generalize this, but the role for myself is that, or my role is to take the responsibility for our life. It's not that you're not responsible, but just also take the responsibility for your actions, for your life, for your decisions, and support your partner, if it's a man or a woman or whatever, in the best way you can.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, I like to, I'm 100% honest, I like to be the man who goes out to work and earn money and everything, but I always said if Nikita would run the business that I can work on and support her, and we always said we both try our best in the career, and then we always dance with the opportunity, right? So if she runs the business, we can
Live on.
live on together, and we really see that the business grows and we have to put more energy in it, that it grows and grows and grows, then why shouldn't we do it? So, and I think the same for you. So
Yeah.
Nikita also always tells me, I can help you there, I can help you there, we can build up this together, that it goes in this direction, or we just this flexibility also in a role of a man, that you support wherever you can.
Yeah.
This is.
But I think that's it, right? That is in the bigger things like career, finances, but smaller things. When I have my period, I mean, when he's working, then I'm doing things myself. But as soon as he's home, I don't go and stand up for a single glass of water. You bring me everything.
Because always one day before it starts, you always say, maybe it starts soon, and then we always say, okay, we get prepared.
Yes, we will take care of it together.
We will take care of it together, and we'll handle the situation together. And this is exactly the thing, to see us as a team.
Yes.
I think
That's it.
That's it.
And so what's the role of the woman, or how would you describe my role in our relationship or my role with you?
You really take care of myself. But this is not the expectation of the role what I would have, but just in our relationship, you really give me this feminine energy I absolutely love when when we can be together, and you also give me always this inspiration. So you really give me also a lot of inputs.
Yeah.
How to see things differently. But in general, the role of a woman, I would say plus minus exactly the same. Also to support wherever you can, and also to support with your feminine energy. So to be here to give this softness into the relationship. So when I would separate it from the man's role and the woman's role, I would see it in this masculine and feminine energy that you put into the relationship, and then you can create this mix together where it's balanced.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that the woman has to be 100% in this direction, the man 100% in this direction, but just to have this tendency and mix it together.
Do you love your partner less if they are in a phase where they are not as happy as they usually are?
No. 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 No.
There was a phase when we moved abroad, I had this huge identity crisis. And so for a few months, I was not as happy and bubbly as I usually am. What would you say? How can someone support their partner if they're going through a phase which is maybe not as easy for them, or maybe they're not as happy, or the things are coming up? How do you support your partner if your partner is just going through something?
For me, it was always actually kind of a beautiful thing to see that you can also show this side from yourself, and that you feel enough comfortable in the relationship that you can be exactly in this situation, and you can show it to me where you are.
Yeah.
So this maybe from the ego perspective. So that also actually proves the relationship, right? What was your question?
How do you support your partner if they're going through something? And maybe there's not something you can fix and they just need to cry for 5 months, or they're just feeling the emotions.
Yeah, hold the space. Just hold the space for the person. Be here. What I did at the beginning in our relationship, what I would do it differently now, is I started giving advices. Many advice at the beginning, right? Do you remember? So at the beginning, I was always like, I told her, you don't have to cry, or it's everything good, and see it from this perspective, or do that and do this, and not try this in a good way, but this is not the thing what you really need at this moment. And I would maybe also generalize this, that this is not the thing what the person needs in this moment. Then I reflected myself that this is just because you're in the situation, then you have the opportunity to just kind of teach someone, and this is what people always like to do. So,
and no one likes, like, people like to be the one to give advice when someone is broken down, but no one who's broken down wants to hear that or wants to feel like they're being thought on.
Yes. And I think this is not the moment to give any advices. Just hold
the space, hold the person, let them cry, ask them, how can I support you? And then in the beginning when he used to say, oh, you don't need to cry, but that was very fast. I just told him that from the beginning. I was like, don't tell me to not cry. I just need to cry. I need to let out that emotion. Then I'll be fine again. And then, because he didn't know what emotional healing is, right? Like, and so I just told him, like, I just need to let the emotion out, and then it will be gone, and then I'll be fine. And then about the piece with the advice, I also told him, I don't want or need to hear advice. I just want to be held. And then, yes, of course, he also has great advice. But like you said, when someone is crying, when someone is telling you shocking or not so good news, that's not the moment to give advice. You can give and share what you think later on, but not in the moment of the breakdown.
Yeah. And maybe in this situation, I would just always remind myself not to give, this advice. It's just hold the space for the person, and listen.
Yeah. Do you agree to the saying, happy wife, happy life?
Yeah, 100%. I have to. No, 100%. It's but also in the opposite.
Yeah.
It's I think you should be happy, both parts. Yeah.
And like sometimes, I don't remember the situation, but something where we were with Lenny and Vera, and Vera and I, we didn't want to do something, or we wanted to do something, I don't remember. And then I said to Lenny and him, happy wife, happy life. And both of them knew like, okay, now they have to compromise. So in those situations where, not big thing, not like, I want to move here, you want to move here, forget your dreams, do what the other person wants, not that far. But in small things where you're like, okay, yeah, it will make her happy if I do this or if I don't do this.
So this is just the way how I treat you. I know I cannot tell this for for everyone, but
Yeah.
this is just the way how I treat you, and I love to treat you like this.
And I love to be treated like it.
I just felt like in a advertising,
Yes!
because after I told you this, I just looked into the camera. Yeah. No, for me, 100%.
We also have to say you have a huge heart. You love to take care of people around you. From small things, like when we're at your family's place, you'll ask me if I want water and you will get the water, even if, I mean, I'm happy to get my water myself as well. But like, you like to do that, right? And I think for some people it comes naturally, and for others, maybe not. For example, I would say I'm very loving and nurturing and nourishing, just with love, with presence, with words, with support, but I don't cook. I have cooked dinner 3 times in our 6-year relationship. 2 of those times last month. And so, for some people it's taking care of the other person through making food or preparing the bed or whatever, things like that. For me, it's more on the soul level, on emotional level and mental level. And I mean, yes, I take care of the rest of the household stuff, but maybe understanding, yes, you have the love languages of how you like to receive love and how you like to give love and for your partner. But then also, if you love one thing and for your partner it's the most unnatural thing to do ever, I would say the partner gets to learn that a bit, but then also you get to just know, if that doesn't come naturally to that person from your partner, it's not about you. It's not personal. It's just, hey, loving your partner the way they are, not needing them to change.
Good point, yeah.
Like, not needing them to change, but also the partner usually wanting to change a little bit because they love each other. Right? So for example, I used to be hyper independent. Like, did everything myself, fly alone, be alone, do things alone, just take care of everything myself. And I have also opened up to receive support from you and let you into everything and do things together. And like, I have changed. For example, I wanted to eat then when I want to eat, not when he's made the dinner. And that's a small thing. But for example, just anything that you're holding on to with a tight grip of control regarding yourself or regarding a relationship, loosening it up a little bit and seeing what is the vibe, where do you meet each other, where does it match? And just because you're this and that person is this, you don't need to hold on to it. You can change, you can shift, you can meet each other, maybe more here, maybe more here, maybe more in the middle, but like not holding on to control or the way you were before.
Yeah.
Being open to change.
Yeah, love language is a very good, very important point. Also, we actually started talking about the love language very at the beginning in our relationship. And this is important to understand, because for me, for example, it's very easy to give, or for example, to cook. For me, this is my love language, for example. Or when I'm also, for example, with clients, I love to surprise them with a coffee, and I remember that the client that she likes to have a cappuccino and he wants to have an americano, for example, and then remembering to that and bring them the things to the next viewing, for example. These are things these are very easy for me, but this is kind of a love language from my side.
And like that's not like that doesn't come naturally to me. When we go to friends' house, it's natural for me to bring something, but being the one to offer food, being the one to offer coffee, it's not how I share love naturally. Because if I want a coffee, I will just go get a coffee, right? And so because I'm very much like, if I want something, I'll just get it. I used to think other people are like that as well, so I wouldn't even think that far of like getting the coffee for another person.
This is important to talk about, because when I have this long love language to give love, maybe I would also expect that I receive the same kind of love language back. Mm-hmm. So, and it wouldn't be naturally if I would expect it from you.
Yeah.
Here we are at the expectations again.
Yeah.
But that's not the reality how you give your love. So, and just to talk about this and analyze it, it's not only important, it's also very interesting.
It's super interesting, yes. And then, for example, for some things, I don't remember any examples right now, but like I learned to just, okay, think ahead and actually do ask him. Even though it doesn't come naturally to me, I learned, okay, but he likes it, so let me do it. And it doesn't take away any, like it doesn't add much effort, right? So if you know your partner likes compliments and you're not a natural person at giving compliments, maybe learn to give a bit more compliments. Like it's not that hard. It's not.
And you're very good in giving compliments.
So, but what's actually very easy for us is our main love language for ourselves and for each other is both touch, physical touch, and words of affirmations. And so I think that was also very easy from the beginning, because both of that was natural for us, and so we could give that to each other very naturally. And then just the thing with you, like preparing stuff, taking care of stuff, that was a bit different. What would you say to couples where one person wants to grow and the other person doesn't? Or like one person is very, I've heard that so many times from clients, where one person is very spiritual, wants to grow, and the other person just like does not believe in it, does not want to hear anything about it, and doesn't want to grow. What would you say to that couple?
It depends if it's only a situation, or if it's the main way of thinking and expectations in life. And
so if the main way of thinking about life is different, and then the same discussions keep happening.
Wow. I know why you would have a relationship then. I
but that's a valid question.
I would never maybe understand. I wouldn't have a relationship with someone when, so for example with you and I, we were always and we are still looking for something bigger, for something extraordinary, for something very unique, for a very unique life, and we keep fighting for it, we always move forward, and I know we will never settle down until we have, achieved, or we will always look for something bigger, not in a materialistic way, just for, we always want to move forward.
Yeah, grow.
And like this is something we have in common.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have a relationship with you if you would just want to stick at one point in life, and but we wouldn't have built up a relationship like this. So I cannot imagine.
I think what happens sometimes is maybe they meet at the same point, but then one person expands their consciousness and the other doesn't. And at that point, you just have to ask yourself, what is the life you truly want? And are the current surroundings around you actually aligned? If not, can you change with them? And if they don't want to change, maybe you have to change.
Yeah, maybe you can inspire them. I mean, as I said before, also when we met, we haven't been in this way. We haven't been on the exact same point. And you also inspired me in this way. But I think that just the base has to be that you want to move forward. And if there is a situation where you, or maybe also a chapter in life or in relationship where someone wants to maybe stick at this position, or a situation the other one wants to move forward, yeah, this is 100% fine. That I think this is also normal or natural. But
And then what would you say to them if it's like this?
yeah, the other person still has to support the other person, and not wanting to stop the person, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what,
I would.
did I answer your question, or?
I think it's very unique, but I think a lot of people just hold themselves back because of fear. So in this example, we have, I can't name the names now, but we know of some relationships back in Zurich who, like, one person was growing and the other didn't want to. And I just thought to myself, maybe it's easier to break it off. Or we know a couple here as well who they keep having the same fight. And I really believe it would be easier to go their own ways. But from an external position, from outside, and just the patterns I see repeating in those examples, it's the honest conversation hasn't worked. Like, they've been honest with each other, they've been kind with each other, but they just want different things. And then what I see, or what I think, I don't know, but what I think is that they're holding on because of fear.
Of fear of being alone.
Fear of being alone, fear of divorcing because you shouldn't be divorced with 33, but maybe it would be better for you, you know. And so fear of being alone, fear of what will society say, what will parents say, what will those say, what will happen if I'm this amount of years old and I'm divorced, or I don't have a kid yet, or whatever. I think people just hold themselves.
Yeah, so many expectations again.
Yeah.
This whole thing, also with the marriage, and this is everything expectation.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, yes, but having this expectation, that gives you so much pressure. And
Yeah.
I believe 100% that that most of the relationship doesn't work because of these expectations.
But because it's not pure. If you're putting so many expectations, pressure, and limitations, it's not pure, because pureness is unlimited. You being yourself is unlimited. But then if you put yourself into boxes,
it's a pity. It's a pity.
You're limiting yourself so much. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, so we have come almost to the end of this episode. If you want more episodes with Brian and his beautiful wisdom, we can do so many more. I mean, we haven't touched on topics like long-term relationship. Now, this week was our 6-year anniversary, and
We completely forgot it.
both of us.
And we were thinking about it 2 weeks before, right?
Yeah,
We were
both of us were thinking about.
we have, yeah. But yeah, but also this,
It's
I don't want to repeat myself many times, but also this is an expectation.
yeah.
So why? So it actually doesn't really matter. Why does it matter?
I mean, only if you think it does, if it's your expectation, if it's your belief, or if it's something that's important to you. Like, for example,
Yes,
the
okay.
Valentine's Day,
Okay.
I think is just such a money-making machine thing, like Valentine's Day.
Yes.
But I do
Yeah.
want to be asked. I want to be asked if I want to be your Valentine. I don't want to do something fancy, but I want to be asked.
But otherwise, I don't have any expectations.
But other than that, I don't have any expectations.
No, I mean, it's you don't have to see it always. I think just see it easy and yeah.
Okay, and then the last 2 questions is, how do you see me? Can you share with the world, how do you see me, and how easy was it for you to love me. But the
I
way
knew that the question
this
like
sounds
this.
very self-centered. But what I want to say with that is, I want to show other people, and especially other women, how easy it gets to be loved.
Loving you is for me the easiest thing in life. It's so easy that at the beginning it was kind of strange for me because I've never had this feeling. How I see you is that I always tell her that she's the sun, and I always send her emojis of two suns, because I see you as the most positive and energetic human being I've ever met in my life. So when you walk into a room, when you walk on the street, you just shine like a sun, and give this warm feeling to the next person. And this is something which is very, very, very unique. And yes, this is in a very short way pretty much
Thank you.
how I can, or how I see you. Yeah.
I see you as the most amazing, kindest, most biggest hearted person and man I've ever met. The most beautiful eyes. Also, but especially just the biggest heart. He has the biggest heart.
Yeah, really.
Is there
Thank
anything you want to ask me?
How do you feel recording this episode?
Very good. I like it. I'm
Yeah,
loving
me too.
Yes, we should do it
too.
more. It's
was,
a lot of
before-
fun. Should we
Yes.
quit our jobs and just do this?
Maybe. No.